Everyday Math, Lesson 612. This is decimals divided by decimals. And the first thing we're going to do is start off by writing on your whiteboard or on a piece of paper, write down these problems. The first one is 80 divided by 40. And go ahead and solve that. And so we ask ourselves, how many times does 40 go into 80? Of course, it's 2. The next one is 8 divided by 4. Of course, that one is also 2. Our next one is 0.8 divided by 0.4. So on this one, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply both of those numbers by 10. Which means we're going to move the decimal point one place to the right because we're going to make it greater. So we're going to end up with 8 divided by 4, which is 2. Okay, take a moment and look at this one. This time we're going to multiply both of those numbers times 10. The first time. And because our decimal is still in there, we're going to multiply both of them by 10 again. So we're going to move it 2 spaces to the right. So we end up with, you guessed it, 8 divided by 4. One more time, equals 2. So hopefully you notice that there's some patterns going on here. That as we change the placement of the 0 and the decimal, we still get the answer of 2. Okay, moving on. We're going to try this one. Go ahead and write 0.4 divided by 0.02. And in this problem, we're going to start out with by first multiplying both numbers by 10. So if we do that, the decimal moves over one place here and one place here. But what I want to do is turn this number, our divisor, into a whole number. So I'm going to need to multiply it by 10 one more time. And if I do it to this number, I have to do it to this number as well. So what ends up happening is that I turn this into 40. So I now have 40 divided by 2 equals, how many times does 2 go into 4? It goes 2. And how many times does 2 go into 0? 0. So our answer is 0.4 divided by 0.002 is 20. So we have kind of an equivalent idea here, but we had to do some multiplying first by 10. Let's take a look at another one. So we have 1 and 281 thousandths divided by 3/10. So on this one, we want to get our divisor to be a whole number, so we want it to get to be 3. So we would multiply each side by 10. So this guy gets divided by 10, or excuse me, multiplied by 10. So now we have a new equation, but it's related. So 12 and 81 hundredths divided by 3 is our new one. And we're going to go ahead and do our long division down here. 12 and 81 hundredths divided by 3. So 12 divided by 3, 4. 3 times 4 is 12. Subtract that down. Bring down the 8, of course, next. Make that a little bit more of an arrow. And now we have 8 divided by 3, well, that's 2 times it goes in here. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2. And then we bring that 1 all the way down here. And now we have 21 divided by 3, and I know that that is 7. So then the final question is, where do I put my decimal? Well, you put it right above where it was before. Because we've eliminated all the other ones, don't have to move it. All right, let's take a look at another one. This time we have 5 6/10 divided by 7 hundredths. So again, we're going to multiply both numbers by 10 because we want to get our divisor side down to a whole number. So we move this guy here. And then we're going to do it again because we need to move it so this becomes a whole number. So we're going to have to move this guy over here. And we're going to have to add a 0 because we need to fill that in. So now we have 560 divided by 7 as our new equation. And we're going to go ahead and work that out over here. 560 divided by 7. And we know that 7 doesn't go into 5 at all. So we have to go to 56. And I know that 7 times 8 is 56. So I go ahead and do my subtraction. Bring down my 0 to prove that I am finished with this problem. And then I ask myself, how many times does 7 go into 0? Well, of course, it is 0. So our answer here is 80. That's it. Okay, next one. This one looks a little funny because it's got the same digits almost in it, but it's the same process. Multiply both numbers times 10. So there's times 10. This one's times 10. Now, because this now becomes 3, we're pretty much done moving decimals. So this guy is going to be 0.03 divided by 3. So on this one, you're going to go ahead and write it out just like you would any other division problem. And I know that I can't get any groups of 3 out of 0, so I put the 0. And I have another 0. So again, I can't get any groups of 3 if I have 0 things. So I'm done there. Now I have 3 divided by 3, and you can get one group of 3 out of 3. I'm going to do 3 minus 3, and that equals 0. So my answer for this problem is 0.01. That one wasn't too bad. Okay, here comes a big one. We have 8 602 divided by 0 and 11 hundredths. We're going to first multiply both numbers by 10 again. So I'm going to multiply this by 10 and this one by 10. I'm still not down to a whole number because this is 1.1 now, so I'm going to have to do it again and do it again. So now I have 860 and 2/10 divided by 11. Now we're going to work that guy out over here. Hopefully I don't run out of space. 860.2 divided by 11. And so we're going to ask ourselves, we can't get any groups of 11 out of 8, so we're going to go to 86. And we know any number times 11 is basically doubling that number. So I know I can't go 8 because that would be 88. So I'm going to have to go 7. Do my subtraction. 16 minus 7 is 9. Then I'm bring down that 0. So I have 90. Let's switch colors here. And then now I'm going to ask myself, how many times does 11 go into 90? Well, now I can use 8. Oh, I thought I switched colors. There we go. And 8 times 11 is 88. Or maybe we're not going to change colors. There we go. And 90 minus 88 is 2. Then I'm going to bring that 2 all the way down. I have 22 divided by 11, and I know that will be 2. Because 2 times 11 is 22. And I'm going to subtract and get 0. So again, where do I place my 0? I'm going to place him in the same spot right there. That's how we solve that one. All right. Maybe this is getting a little bit easier for you. Okay, we're going to do the same thing, multiply both numbers by 10. That gets us to 4. That moves that guy over here. So now we have 6 and 92 hundredths divided by 4. And we're going to go ahead and do our long division now. 6 and 92 hundredths divided by 4. Ask ourselves, how many times does 4 go into 6? 1 time. 6 minus 4 is 2. Bring down the 9. We have 29. Now how many times does 4 go into 29? Should remember that 7 times 4 is 28. And subtract. That gets us 1. We bring down the 2 all the way down. And now we have 12 divided by 4. And I know that 4 times 3 is 12. So I'm going to go ahead and do my subtraction and be done. All right. So that's how we use the multiplying of the decimals by 10 to help us solve the problem a little bit easier. Oh, I need to remember to put my decimal right there. Okay. All right, we're going to do one last one here. He's a little bit different, but we still start the same way. Divide or multiply each one by 10. Now, because the decimal would be here, you're going to need to move it one place over and fill it in with a 0. So now you have 1, 8, 2, 5, 0 divided by 25. Okay. Well, I know I can't use 18, so I'm going to have to go clear up to 182 before I can even do any math. So I know 25 times 4 is 100, so it's got to be bigger than that. Times 8 would be too many, so maybe 7. I'll do that over here so I can keep track of it. 7. And I get 35. Carry the 3. 2 times 7, 14, plus 3 more is 175. that's probably as close as I'm going to get. So 175, I'm going to subtract that, 7, 12 minus 5 is 7, and 7 minus 7 is 0. Then I'm going to bring down that 5, and I know that 75, if I have 75 cents, and that's 25 cents, that's basically 3. Put our 75, subtract, and bring down the 0 one last time. And you know that 0 divided by 25 is 0. So our answer for that guy is 730. All right. So today, for your math journal, we're going to go to page 227. And what you'll do is, first we're going to write an equivalent division problem. That's what we were just doing when we multiplied things by 10, so that we have a whole number divisor. And then we're going to make an estimate, and then we're going to solve it. Okay? So let's take a look at this first one. We have 2 79/100 divided by 9. So if we do the strategy that we just used, we're going to multiply by 10 to get rid of that decimal. So now we have 27.9 divided by 9 equals something we don't know yet. An estimate, if we look at this, this could be 27 divided by 9, and that equals 3. So now we work this thing out. We have 27.9 divided by 3. And I can't use the 2, so I got to think about 27 divided by 3. So that guy is 9. Subtract it. Bring down the 9. And 9 divided by 3 is 3. Okay. This next one, I'm going to let you solve the problem, but we'll go ahead and set it up with the equivalent problem and the estimate. Then you'll need to make sure that down here you write 27.9 divided by 9 equals 9.3. Okay, so down here, exact same answer. You know what, kiddos? I need to write this differently. This is 9 over here. My mistake. So this guy would be 3.1. 3.1. Sorry about that. So this guy, let me erase that. Oop, maybe. I'm having a little trouble with my pen today. This would be 3.1. So the answer to this guy is also 3.1. There we go. All right. Equivalent problem up here. The first thing we're going to do is multiply it times 10 times 10. And we're going to have to do it one more time to get rid of that decimal and make our divisor a whole number. So now we have 854 divided by 14 equals something. Okay, so estimate for this might be, you could do 900 rounded up divided by 14 is kind of close to 10, so that'd be nice and easy, which would be 90. So our answer we're hoping will be close to 90. So you'll go ahead and solve 854 divided by 14. You'll solve that there. Your equivalent problem, you'll go down here, which is the 854 divided by 14. And then your answer that you get here is the exact same one that you put there. And that's all there is to it for this particular page. We'll do some more practice on these tomorrow, so be prepared for that. And that concludes our lesson.